Here's a biography and list of achievements for Solomon Tshekisho Plaatje, one of South Africa's most important early intellectuals, writers, linguistic scholars, and political leaders. Book biography: Who was Solomon Plaatje? Solomon Tshekisho Plaatje was born on the 9th of October 1876 in the Orange Free State, now part of South Africa. Raised in a Tswana-speaking Christian family with little formal schooling, he taught himself multiple languages and became one of the most influential black South African leaders of the early 20th century. South African History Online +1. Despite limited education, Plaatje became a polyglot, fluent in English, Dutch, German, and several African languages, and he worked as a court interpreter during the Siege of Mafeking in the Second Boer War, 1899–1902. Anfasa.org.za. He then turned to journalism, founding and editing Setswana English newspapers like Koerante eya Bekoana and Sala eya Batho, using the press to advocate for the rights of black South Africans. South African History Online. In 1912, Plaatje became the first Secretary-General of the South African Native National Congress, SANNC, the organization that later became the African National Congress, ANC. He traveled to Britain, Canada, and the United States to campaign against oppressive racial laws, especially the disastrous 1913 Natives Land Act, which stripped many black South Africans of land ownership. Anfasa.org.za. Plaatje continued writing, translating, and advocating for equality until his death on the 19th of June 1932. Wikipedia Trophy Major Achievements Writing Hand Pioneering Literature. First English novel by a black South African, Woody, an epic of South African native life 100 years ago, written 1919, published 1930. Authored Native Life in South Africa, a landmark exposé on the harmful effects of racial legislation like the Natives Land Act. South African History Online rolled up newspaper journalism and publishing. Founded the first Setswana English newspaper in South Africa, giving voice to Tswana speakers and black South Africans at a time when mainstream media ignored them. South African History Online Brain Political Leadership. Founding member and first Secretary-General of the SANNC, ANC, helping shape the earliest organized resistance to discrimination and land dispossession in South Africa. Global Advocacy. Traveled overseas to lobby foreign governments and organizations against discriminatory South African laws, bringing international attention to racial injustice. Anfasa.org.za. Books, linguistic and cultural contributions. Translated several Shakespeare plays into Setswana, making world literature accessible to African language speakers. Encyclopedia Britannica. Published works on Bantu proverbs and folk tales, helping preserve indigenous languages and stories.